Hi guys, I hope you guys are staying safe due to COVID and you guys are having fun. I know this is a very boring time and you need some fun activities to do. So today I'm going to show you a very fun and interesting type of coding website which is called Scratch. It's a very fun, creative and easy website, and you can make whatever you want. There are tutorials also for you to try different types of games. So I'm just gonna give you a basic idea on every type of code on Scratch and the different characters that you can add. So please enjoy. First, as you can see, there's already a Sprite, which is a character that they've given us. In order for you to add more types of character, you can go to the paint option, and the paint option lets you make your own character. For example, I want to make a square, so then it lets me make a square, and then I can color it whatever color I want. In case you don't want to make a character on your own, Scratch provides some characters already. So if you go to the choose a sprite, there are a bunch of characters that you can see, like cake, cheese puffs. You can choose whatever you want. There are various categories for you to choose from, so you can choose from that. In case you want to add a background to it, then you can go to the choose a background option. It's the same as the character option. You can either choose a background that they already have, like hearts and like stripes, or you can create a background on your own. Or if you want to upload a background of your choice, you can just go to upload background. You can download a image from Google and upload it for your background. So these are the fun, like the initial parts of the entire code. You can also add some sounds if you want. For example, they have various kinds of sounds. If you want to add, for example, if you have a cat, you can add a meow. In case you want to try a new game, here's something called tutorials, which is over here on the top. If you click that, then there are various options for you to explore from. For example, a Pong game, or maybe like animating a sprite, or maybe animating your own name. You can click on those options, and then they will give you a bunch of they will tell you what to do, so you can do accordingly. You can also edit your game. You can save it. You can save by using the save option, and so then you can also rename your sprite. For example, I will name it cat, and then you can hide your sprite by clicking this button, but then you can show it again. Then you can change the size also by making it say 10 or making it say 1000. That's a huge one, but I'm gonna keep it 100 because it's convenient. You can change the initial starting point. So for example, if I put x is 0 and y is 0, it starts from the middle. But if I put x as say 30, it starts from the right. So it goes accordingly. You can do it however you want. Now the different parts of this website are the coding. It's very simple because you do not have to type a code on your own. All that you have to do is drag it and drop it on the screen, and then you can just like join a bunch of codes this way and make a whole game and stuff. So I'm gonna now explain the different types of codes that you can use. So the move 10 steps code is basically if you want your character to move 10 steps right or 10 steps left. So if I say move 100 steps, so it will move 100 steps to the right or the left. Then you have the turn, so you can make your sprite turn in like certain directions. Say you can make it turn 90 degrees, so it'll turn to the right. If you make it turn 180 degrees, it'll go upside down. It won't show you over here because we don't have a starting code yet, but I'm just explaining the different parts. Also, you can make it go to random positions. For example, if you have a unicorn and you want it to like pop up from like a random location, you can do that. You can also make your sprite go to a certain position in your entire screen. Because it's 0, 0 is the center, but if I make it same 30 and 45, then it will go 30 to the right and 45 up, and your sprite automatically goes to the top right corner. You can also change your x-axis, which is your horizontal position, and you can change your y-axis, which is your vertical position. There's an option called if on edge bounce. That means that if your sprite is moving and it touches the edge, you can make it bounce off all by itself rather than having a whole new code. So that's a very cool thing that you can add. You can also make your sprite rotate in a certain direction, say clockwise or anti-clockwise. So if it's like a moon or a sun, you can make it rotate so it looks more realistic. That's the basic, like, how to move a sprite from one place to how to move the character from one place to another. Now I will go to the part where you can make your character say certain things. Say, for example, I press this, say hello for 2 seconds. So your sprite, your character, says hello for 2 seconds. If I make it 5 seconds, so then it'll say hello for 5 seconds. If you want it to say hello for the whole time, you can just press say hello, and then it will say hello for however long your game lasts. You can also change this by saying, let's say cat for 5 seconds, so then it will say cat for 5 seconds. That's if you want it to say something. If you want it to think about something or something like that, say you want it to think about cake, so then you can press cake, and then if you click it, then it thinks for cake for 2 seconds, and then it disappears. You can also switch your costume, which is you can switch how the sprite looks by moving it from costume 1 to costume 2, or you can change the background. Say, for example, you have a beach and then your sprite is walking, and then you want it to go to like a desert. So then you can switch background to say the next background, and then it will switch your background to whatever your next background is set as. You can also change the size of your sprite because it's 100 right now, and if you want it to become smaller, you can change it to say 50, or if you want it to become bigger, you can change this to 150. And you can also change the color or like the brightness of your sprite. So for example, right now you can see it like it's properly, you can see it fully, but if you want it to become you want it to become dull, you can just change the color by say 25 or 50, and then it keeps getting lighter. See, for example, I said change colors, then it was initially yellow, but then it changed to green. You can also show and hide your sprite. So if you say show, and then it'll appear for a certain time, but then it will go away whenever you want it to. You can just get the hide option and hide it. You can go forward one layer in the sense one like a particular distance, and or like a background or stuff. So you can make it go forward however much you want it. You can make it go backward also. So that's the basic, like, what you want your sprite to look like or to think or say. Now I'll go to the sounds part, which is a very fun part, because you can make your sprite or your character say different things and or sing different things. So right now, because it's a cat, it's set to meow. But say if it's like a dog, you can change it to like a bark or something. You can also record your own sound if you want your character to represent something else. You can record that sound and add it also. That's also something very fun. Then you can stop your sounds by just getting the stop all sounds option. Then you can change the pitch, which is the intensity or the like the shriekiness of your character. You can get it down, or you can make it go up. You can change the volume of your character, by increasing it or decreasing it depending on what you want. So that's the fun thing about sound that you can add to your character. Then comes to the events part, which is one of the most important parts of your entire code, because it actually is like a starting point for your entire code. So this is when the green color flag is clicked, which is this flag. This is the most important thing in your entire code, because only if this option is available can you start your entire game. So only if I press this will the sprite change color or stuff like that. So every code should have this at the beginning of it for it to work successfully. There are other options also that you can do when, for example, space is clicked. So if I only if I click the space bar, will my entire code start working? Or when you give the option of when background switches to, so like when you switch your background to something else, will the code start working? Or when you switch the volume to something else, your code starts working. So these are different options to make your code to start working. So these are the most important codes in your entire code, like your entire code for the game. Then you have the control options. So for like how long you want an activity to last. Say for example, wait 1 second. So if you have your sprite moving and then you want it to stop for 1 second, then you can do that. You can make it stop for 5 seconds, you can make it stop for 10 seconds, for however long you want it to. If you want the sprite to do the same activity a certain number of times, you can just make it to repeat. Say for example, I make it to repeat 15 times. So then it will repeat the same activity 15 times. But if you want the activity to last forever and you don't want to put like a certain number to it, you can just say forever, and the activity will keep going on until you press stop on your game. So this is basically a forever option for you to keep making the same thing happen over and over again. These are some different things that you can do. They're going to be a little bit complex for you, so please pay attention to this. This is something called as the if then. So in case I want the sprite to move, let's say move up, so then my option over here should be if up arrow is clicked, then move 10 steps. So then the if then option helps the sprite to do an activity all by itself. So then if I say if I do it this way, so if the cat touches the color black, let's set it to black, then your sprite should say bounce back or then move 10 steps or whatever you want. So this is very important because you are telling what the sprite should do. So keep that in mind. And if you wanted to do 2 or more activities at once, or like say this way, so if it touches the black color, then you can make it move 10 steps to the right. If it does not touch the black color, you can move it 10 steps to the left. So this is basically an if or else option. So you tell it to do something, but then if it doesn't fulfill the requirements, then it does something else. So that's a pretty cool thing that you can do. So you don't have to type 2 different things. You can just do an if else and make it one easy thing for you to do. You can also repeat an activity for however long you want. Say you can repeat the activity, you can repeat like the rotation of your sprite until it touches black color, or you can do stuff like that. Or you can wait for the sprite to do something until it touches black color. You can ask the sprite to move 10 steps to the left until it touches black color, and then ask it to bounce back, say that it can bounce back. So that's something that you would want to think about doing. So these are some important but fun and useful things about Scratch. Now you can make your entire game stop at a point, so this is called the stop all option, where you can make everything stop, or you can make only the sprite stop, or you can make for example, if you have 3 or more sprites, then you can make all the other sprites stop and just make one sprite go at a time. So basically this is like a control option for you to like control the movement and control what the sprite does and stop it whenever you want. Then you have the sensing options. So the sensing options are basically it's another cool and fun thing you would want to add. So if you see there's touching mouse pointer, touching color, if color changes to this, if distance, ask. Okay, so if touching mouse pointer, or let's just put it if touching edge, so then you can do it this way. So if your sprite touches the edge, then it moves 5 steps to the back, or if it touches the edge, it moves 5 steps up. You can set it in that sense. If also, just the way I told you before, if it touches a particular color, say like green, yellow, black, blue, or whatever is your background or something, then you can make it go back or bounce back accordingly, or move in whatever place you want. If the color of the object changes from say purple to like yellow, then it moves up, down, or whatever again. And you can also ask for the name of the person that's playing. So for example, this option would ask the person's name at the beginning of the game, and only if the person answers can they move ahead. So when you do this option, then you have to enable the answer option just like by putting a click. So if you ask what's your name, they say for example your name is Anna, so then it will put your name over here, and then you can start playing your game. So then you know who is playing the game at what time, and stuff like that. Then you can also put this option where if you want the sprite to move up, then you can press the up arrow. So if the up arrow is clicked, move sprite up. If the down arrow is clicked, move sprite down. If the left arrow, right arrow, or anything like that is clicked, you can do it in that way. There are also letters that you can click for it to move. If I click space, then maybe it can jump, or it can bounce and stuff like that. So that's also a very important thing, because you want the sprite to move in the way you want. So you have to ensure that you choose the right option and you know what you're choosing. You can also set a timer for your game. For example, I want the game to be for 1 minute. So then you have to enable the timer option over here, as you can see, because the green button is pressed. So the timer is going on because the green button is pressed, and it will keep going on for however long your game lasts, or however long you want it to last. You can also add like a year to your game, because it's 2020, so then we can say year 2020. And you can add a username. So for example, if your name is let's say, okay, my name is Riyaa Vakaria, so then my username would be Riyaa_Vakaria, because that's what I have used to log into Scratch. So you can add that also. Then comes the operators, which is also another important part that you would want to take into account. You can divide, like you know how you add, subtract, multiply, or divide numbers. You can do that even over here. So for example, you can add 2 or more things at the same time. So for example, I can add let's go up and see what we can add. Okay, so what I can do is I can add like say timer and loudness in the same place. So then while it's counting for the timer, it will also take the sound or the sound intensity of the entire project also into account. So you can do stuff like that. You can add numbers together, or you can subtract or divide or multiply numbers for the object, for the sprite to move. You can also enable the option of pick a random number from 1 to 10. So you can ask the user to pick a random number from 1 to 10, and then depending on what number they pick, they can move the sprite in that way or something like that. Then you have the option of above 50, greater than 50, less than 50, or equal to 50. So let's say if the timer is 50, if 50 is equal to 50, then you can say end. Or if you say if the timer is 60 is equal, or you want the thing to say 60 is greater than 50, because it's true, you can also make the timer stop. So that's some fun things you can do. You can also join 2 or more sprites if you want, or 2 or more letters together by using this join option. So you can join, say, apple and banana. So if you have an apple and a banana over here as a sprite, you can join them together. Or you can ask for what letter. For example, the first letter in apple is A. So you can say stuff like that also to add like a fun part to your entire project or your game. Lastly, you can, this is a very important option also, it's called the variable option. So if you want to like create your own variable in the sense your own say task, or like an operation, or like a control, you can do that also. Say for example, I want the sprite to move slant, like I want the sprite to move 30 degrees to the right or rotate. So then I can create a variable called rotate, and then I can give it certain tasks to do. And it's the same as the thing that we learned over here in control, as for how long you want it to last, or for like what time, like repeat. So then I can do that also by saying set the variable to last for say 10 seconds, or you can change the variable to last for 10 seconds and stuff like that. So that's also an easy option for you to access if you don't find what you want to find over here. For you to add other stuff, like if you want to add something fun also to it that's not there above, you can do that. Like you can add like a music, or like a pen, or a video sensing, or a text to speech. This enables you to have like a one-on-one interaction with your user. So you can do stuff like that also. It's fun, it's easy, it's nice, it's cool. One last thing that I would want to talk about is the shape of your the shape of the code. So these are the 5 different shapes that you can see in your entire code. So this, as you can see, has just one little triangle thingy at the bottom, which means that this has to be your starting requirement for your entire code. So you cannot add any other function above this. But then when I say when a triangle is clicked, as you can see here, there's a hollow triangle also. So I can attach these together and it will do the task for me. If I want, I can also do it this way, where I can say go to, and then you can see that this one is white, like y is equal to white in color, and it's circular, and this is also circular. I can attach this and this together, so it does 2 functions in one. I can also do it in a way such that, because this has a triangle on top, a hollow triangle, I can attach these 2 together, bring this in the middle of them, and then repeat until. And then you see there's a triangle, like a hexagon option here. This is also a hexagon, so I can attach this over here. So then this code basically tells me, so when this green triangle is clicked, so basically when I start my entire code, I want the code to run till I click the space bar, so till the user clicks the space bar. And the code should be that the object should go to 26 degrees x, and y as whatever is the x, so y equals 26. So this is the entire code, and this will last for however long you press the space bar. So you can do different stuff like that. I know it sounds very complex when I explain it, but trust me, it's not that complex. All you need is some practice and some time on your own to spend over this, and you will be perfectly fine. I know so many people who have just like learned, and then they've become a pro at it after trying 2 or more games. So try, have fun with it, do games, and after you make your games, please send it to us on Instagram. Our account is Girls Will Code, so please send it. We will promote you guys, we will put you guys on our story and share you guys, and it will be a very fun experience for us. If you have any questions, please DM us on Instagram. We will be ready to answer it for you. And if you want to learn more games and you want tutorials on it, please let us know, so we will send you more such videos. And stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy your time, have fun coding, and we hope to see you guys soon. Bye.